stressful because if he gets overstimulated, if he gets over, like he's processing everything in the room and it's magnified to him, everything's magnified. So you have to be able to be flexible with your day. He might be able to do a whole day at an amusement park, let's say, but then if you can tell, I can tell when he's starting to crash. What we say, he's starting to crash, so I'll take him for a walk and we'll give him that time. So you have to be flexible. You have to be very patient too. But other than that, he can do all the work the other kids can do. Might take him a little bit longer to kind of get focused, or if he's a little overwhelmed, the kind of stuff, but he can do all the work the other kids can do. You can see him at 2 and see him now. You know, it's just my
bathing suit.
You want your bathing suit? Well, why don't you play the cars for a few minutes, then when we're done, we'll see if we can go in the pool. I was talking to my older son yesterday, and he said, "Mom, what's your dream? What's your dream?" And I said, "Cure for autism, of course, you know." And my older son said, "Well, I don't think I want Ryan to be cured of autism." And I said, "Well, why not?" And he said, "Because that's what makes him special, and that's what makes him him, and he's had it all his life, and he said he's been groundbreaking in school. You know, they didn't integrate children like Ryan would never be able to go to regular school maybe 5 years ago. This is like new. So Bobby thinks this is groundbreaking, that he's actually educating people and getting them to learn." And he said, "Well, maybe it wouldn't be such a good thing to cure him." But I said, "We still want to cure him, but there's a really good thought too. It is part of him, but to accept his autism too." And I think that's what a lot of parents do, is you're constantly trying to hide, trying to stifle it. No, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad. Yeah, that's just telling each other bad. What you're doing is strange. What you're doing is, not normal. And you have to kind of get past that and be okay with where he is right now. And be okay with where his future will be. Not worry about it so much, like when I'm gone and, what's going to happen to him when I'm gone, because I think he's going to be just fine. I really do. He's going to be just fine. Like if he's just meeting you, sometimes he'll say, "What kind of car do you have?" He used to say, "What kind of car do you have?" to everyone. So his therapist has been working on to ask, "What's your name?" first, at least. I mean, he's funny, and he has a great sense of humor. He's cuddly. He's very affectionate. Loves cars. He can go out and name whatever make, model car you have. Very intelligent. He's just a joy. He's a joy to have. He really is. We have one of those. It's his practical jokes he likes now, and they're like the little mixed nuts that the snake jumps out, and he'll hide it in the cabinet. He's like, "Oh, Mom, wouldn't you care for some salted mixed nuts?" And like 5 times a day I'll have to go and act like I opened it so the snake will come out. So he's hilarious. He's really funny. He was diagnosed when he was 2. My mother-in-law noticed a speech delay, but I didn't notice a speech delay because he could say words. But what I realized later on is that he could say words, but you'd never hear them again. The speech therapist said he was autistic. The speech delay was so severe that he would tantrum all day long. It was screaming all day long. I'm talking 12 tantrums a day, and they could go for 2 hours straight screaming. And then he'd scream all night long, too. And there's like an 8-month stretch where he would wake up screaming and running to the house screaming. My husband will say it was the worst, the worst year of his life. Just taking turns, but my husband, I don't think I would have made it without him, because just being able to see when you've had enough and just being there for that 8 months, and then when the sleep got resolved, you felt like you could take on the world then. When you could sleep all day, it just seemed like everything else was just going to come. Once he got language, that's when the tantrums started to slowly diminish, because if you can imagine being in a world where you can't say anything and nobody can hear you, and you're trying to get your point across and you just can't verbalize. So once he got language, the tantruming stopped. And I think that was the biggest thing that was going to worry me about other children, how they were going to treat him, because sometimes they have behaviors that are not, like even Ryan still will have, some music will hurt his ears, and if we go to a party and they're playing music, if they ask them to turn the music off, they're like, well, why do we have to turn the music off? Like, was it every song? Or why is it just that song? You know, they don't understand, so you have to keep explaining. Actually, it's funny because I thought the bullying would be the hardest. And now he's got kids that really, really don't like him. They sense something's different about him. They just and won't like him. But he has even more kids that are compassionate and caring and will play with him and understand better.